today, drastically improve your productivity, your health, your well-being. This is a massive, and it's a subject that I'm really passionate about. Want to share huge value today, supercharge your life. This is the goal. Improve your health, improve your energy, improve your productivity, reduce your stress levels, reduce the drama in your life and at work and at home, reduce the pressure that you have, that you're feeling right now, help you prioritize properly, help you improve every little thing in your life, more family time, improve your work-life balance, and have more fun, more time for fun, more time for adding more value, right? More quality time with your family, more quality time with your team even, so that you're working on things that are really lifting your team up and helping them to live a better life rather than just fighting fires all the time and being stuck in the whirlwind. Great to see you, Phil. You're the man with the camera on. It's great to see you there. Is the hearing good? Give us a thumbs up. You can hear good? Awesome. Thank you. So let's rock through this really quickly. We've got lots of things to share, lots and lots of things. So why do we do this? We do it because we want to, one of our massive goals, our BHAG, is to inspire 1 million Kiwis over the next 10 years to embrace the principle of 2-second lean, which is kind of the basis for all this, how to make your life a little bit better every day. So reducing drama, reducing struggle, fixing what bugs you, and actually living a life of continuous improvement where you are getting 1% better every single day, not just once a week or once a month or once a year or whatever it might be. Sadly, most people I work with, or most people that I talk to, all the people around us are living a life of gradual decline. There is no need for that. That's a tragic waste, and people just give into that. And people my age and younger, sadly, I've just hit 40 by the way, so that's a big milestone. And people much younger than me that have already given up on their health goals, already given up on their having quality family time, having a good business, or being a good employee, or having a good career. And that's really sad, because it doesn't need to be. If you take a new approach, if you shift your mindset, if you change your mindset, it's like having a flat tire. If you don't change it, you can't move forward, you can't go anywhere. So today is about making sure we're pumping up your tires, getting you on the road. Probably lots of you here are already high performers, people that are obviously wanting to learn and get ahead, which is awesome. And webinars like these, for me, have that I've attended over the years, have completely changed my life, high value stuff, and I want to make sure that we provide massive value for you today. So I want to really supercharge your life and make sure you're getting ahead. So I'm going to start with a couple of things. There's some high performance habits that I really want to share with you guys, and it's starting with some questions. Now, write these down as we go. I'm not going to write them on the board because it takes too long, but I'm going to pop them up on the board and read through them for you here. And it is these things here, which are 5 power questions to make sure you're asking yourself every day of the week. Now, if you get I'm going to put in a pitch here for our high performance planner. If you put that in, if you grab this, it's all in there. So all the resources are in the planner. You don't need to buy one, but if you do, it will absolutely change the way you look at life and the way you approach every week, every day, every month, every year. Because what I want to help you to understand is that time is your scarcest resource. It's your most precious resource. And that every second that goes by, your life gets shorter and your time becomes more valuable, right? It's a really simple idea, but most people don't really internalize that, and certainly don't act like it, don't live like it, and don't make the most of the moment that they're in. Too many people in this world are spending their life scrolling through their cell phones, scrolling through the internet, watching Netflix, doing all sorts of stupid, mind-numbing things that are just not adding any value, and certainly not allowing them to get the most out of life or the most enjoyment out of life. So these are power questions I want to share with you that will help you get clarity. And you don't just look at them once a year. This is in the front of your high performance planner, so you're looking at them either every day if you're really struggling to get clarity, or at least once a week. So my one tip I'm sharing, going to share tons of tips with you. So write them down. But one of them is that every single weekend, whether it's a Saturday or Sunday, make 20 to 30 minutes to really plan your week ahead and review the week that's gone before, and learn from that week, and then move forward. So you're actually really improving your time management skills. The power questions, number 1 is, what do I want my ideal life to look like? This is really, really key, because I want to help you get clarity. If I can help you get clarity and figure out what your personal mission is for you as a human being and for your family, and then maybe your business too, if you own a business, making sure that you answer these questions and write these things down. There's absolute magic in pen and paper. And again, I'm going to go off on a quick tangent here already, is that if you are managing all your time on digital right now, that's okay. But I'm yet to find a high performer who can show me their digital diary with showing actually how their day went, by the minute or by the 15 minutes at least, and they're learning from their actual. They can show me a good plan, a lot of them, but they cannot show me their actual, and they're not learning or getting better because they're not, that their time is going missing without them actually realizing where it's going. So really, really important. There's magic in pen and paper. So we've tried every tool under the sun, but you cannot beat the magic of pen and paper. What do I want my ideal life to look like? Number 2, what kind of person do I need to become to achieve this vision? Really, really important. I know you probably can't see these on the screen, but feel free to write them down. Number 3, and I can give you material after this webinar as well. If there's things that you miss, and we're going fast, so if there's things you miss, reach out to me directly. Stephen, if you can put my WhatsApp code or number in the chat would be great, and anyone can send me a voice note on WhatsApp. What goals should I set to develop these qualities? So it's really important. Determine specific objectives that will help you grow into the person that you need to be. Number 4, what obstacles are standing in my way? And I'm going to repeat it again. If you don't get clarity by answering these questions every week, and you're going to get a little bit better at this every week, and just have a go. Don't. One of my favorite sayings is, imperfect action is far better than perfect inaction. So make sure you actually just get on and start scribbling stuff down, and don't overthink it. Just write what comes into your mind. What obstacles are standing in my way? Recognize challenges or barriers that could hinder your progress. And you have to do this weekly, at least weekly. Some people do it monthly, which is okay, because that's better than someone who doesn't do it at all, right? But it's really, if you've got this in your high performance planner or written down in your notebook somewhere, go through these things. Number 5, what actionable steps can I take right now to overcome these obstacles and move closer to my goals? So outline immediate actions you can implement to start making progress. That might be some new daily habits and some old habits that you've got to drop and some new ones you've got to build. That's why I'm a big fan. There's a habit tracking app that I use. I've been using it since 2017, completely transformed my life. It has my daily habits, weekly habits, and monthly habits. That's again another. There's a tool in this book here, which you can, in this planner, which you can use to connect with me on that app. It's so powerful, so you can be accountable to others. So those are things you can do straight away, and you need to do this. You need to get clarity, right? It's really, really important to seek clarity or get clarity. What's your core purpose? What's your mission? Why? Answer that question. Why? Why do you exist? Who are you trying to help? What are you trying to do? What causes do you care the most about? So that's the 5 power questions. The next thing I'm going to share with you is these 9 big ideas, or these 9 key principles that I want to share with you right now. These are really, really important ways to live your life by, and they'll help you as a person. They'll help you in your business. They'll help you in many, many ways. So let's roll through these right now. Again, feel free to write these down. You can, if you want to, you can even type them into the chat so that others can benefit from what you're learning right now. Number 1, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. So these are 9 sort of core principles that will help you to shift your mindset and start to get that 1% gain every day. So I'm trying to give you as many tools as I can today. And at the end of the session, I want to hear from you, like, what's one thing you're going to do differently today, or what's one thing you're going to do differently you're starting after this webinar that you can action straight away. And you feel free to actually start popping things in the chat as we go. It'd be good to see the chat making some action there. So stop whining about problems and start working on yourself. Don't wish it were easier, wish it were better, okay? Wish you were better. So focus less on what's wrong and more what you can do about it. So focus on the things that you can control. So many people in life, not sure if you can see this little diagram I'm drawing here, but so many people in life, they can control these things here, what you can control, which might be, how many outbound calls you make, how you speak to your wife or your husband or your children, how you deal with them, how you talk to your team. There's make a list of all the things you can control, and then all the things you can't control, like the weather, the government, all sorts of things, the idiot on the road that decides to crash into you, all those things, but you can choose how you react. So there's a bunch of things you can't control. Make sure you're clear on that and clear on what you can control, and just focus on those things, because there's every day things are going to crop up, things are going to hit you that you didn't expect, but you can choose the way that you react, okay? So I'm throwing sort of all sorts of ideas, in behind these principles here. Choose the way you react. Very, very key in business and life, in relationships, and in your health and everything. Number 2, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You've probably heard this before, but I'm reminding you again how important this is. There's friends you're going to have to drop. There's family you can spend less time with. If they're negative, they're whining, they're dragging you down. Remember, I've got a saying that you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. So it's really, really important. There's plenty of times in my life I've had to shift away from friends that haven't been helping me or have been dragging me down. And we all know through the process of life that we learn. If we have a growth and learning mindset, we should be getting 1% better every day, and we should be choosing our friends very, very carefully. So be very careful about that. Your close associations shape your ideas, your thinking, your actions, and your habits, okay? And over time, you become more like them, and you cannot stop that process. So you must take deliberate action, okay? People say, well, what about family? Or, my mother or my father-in-law or whatever. That's okay. You can spend less time and you can lift them up and you can figure out strategies to spend less time with certain people that are dragging you down. Number 3, some of these things are quite confronting that we're discussing today as well, okay? And some of you might not necessarily agree with all these ideas, but I can tell you for free that all these things have helped me immensely in my life and in the life of our team and all the people that we coach through Premier Business Academy. And I do tons and tons of one-on-one mentoring with people as well. And I share these same ideas, and it really helps people to get ahead quickly. Number 3, for things to change, you have to change. Okay, so do you want better outcomes? Stop waiting for the world around you to change. So, you can choose your mindset, your behaviors. We've kind of covered that. So pick one area of your life right now and change it. Might be your health, it might be your relationship with a close friend or whatever it might be. Number 4, happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It is something you design for the present. So right now you can choose thoughts and actions that promote happiness. Now, this is really simple, but every human being in this world is wanting more happiness. Doesn't matter what religion, what race, what country you're from, your background. Everyone wants to be happy or be happier or to have a life that is getting better. And that's what continuous improvement is all about. If your life's getting 1% better every day and your health, your relationships, your whatever it might be, your business, your career, then you're going to become happier, right? So right now, write down, here's a little tip, which is part of the diary as well. Every day there's space, or part of the high performance platter. Every day there is space to write down 5 to 10 things you're grateful for today. That is so key. That was another game changer for me. I'm going to talk a lot about game changers, things that have worked for me. And you say, well, how many times can you have a game changer? Endless. Every single day you can have a new revelation that comes to you, a new learning that comes to you and completely changes your life. I'm going to share you another recent tip that's working really well for me, is that every night before I go to bed now, I ban my smartphone for at least an hour before bed, and so there's none of the blue light going on, and you really get into a much better state for bed. But I write down, I've got a separate little journal for three big wins today. So you've got that, instead of going to bed thinking about all the things you didn't achieve, at least there's 3 things you did achieve. Some of my examples would be working out today and listening to a good audiobook, and spending 2 hours with quality hours with the kids with no distractions, playing soccer, basketball, a bunch of things, and might be the vegetable garden, or it might be something at work. So 3 wins for today, 3 simple wins, and then 3 things. Then you write down 3 things, 3 big goals for tomorrow. Most important goals for tomorrow. Now that's kind of on top of what you're doing in the planner, or you can do it in the planner as well. Some people do it in the planner, but that's just a simple thing that's really helped me. And this, every day there should be something, or every week some new thing you're learning that becomes a game changer, that becomes a life changer, that helps you go to the next level. So practice being grateful every day. So key. Another little tip I'm going to give you, which is wasn't planned for today, but life goals and notes. It's really life goals. There's a space in the planner for that every day too. Even if you don't get a planner, or if you don't have one, make sure you've got some kind of a diary where you're writing down 3, 4 big goals that you have for your life, whether it's buying a house, starting a family, getting a who knows what it might be, whatever it might be in your life, or upgrading your home, or write down some big goals for yourself every single day, not once a year. Most people do it once a year and then never see them again. The point of doing it every day is that you get clarity every single day. Again, I'm going to say it again, a game changer for me was starting to write down life goals daily instead of every year at Christmas or New Year's, which is what I used to do. And of course, they just disappear. Whereas if you're doing them daily, it gives you fuel for your, it gives you fuel for your furnace. It gives you energy. It gives you motivation, inspiration every single day of the week. Because motivation is like showering. For best results, you need to do it daily, right? Twice a day is my recommendation. In the morning, get you started, get you pumped, and at night. So success is something you attract by the person you become. Really important. Success is something you draw to you when you become a better person. Someone that stops whining, stops blaming, takes extreme accountability, extreme ownership, and you just take full ownership of where you are in life, your circumstances. You're continually growing and learning. You have a deep respect for people. You have a deep respect for resources. There's some basic principles that help you become a better person. So stop looking for success shortcuts, read more books, listen to more podcasts, take courses, learn new things, learn the piano, learn the guitar, take up a new hobby instead of wasting 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour. Download the app called Opal app. Most people I talk to struggle with their smartphones and are spending way too much time on them. They're robbing them of their life, literally robbing people of their lives every single day of the week. And it's heartbreaking. So if you can't control your impulse to keep scrolling, that's robbing you of learning a new skill, learning a new habit, getting fit, spending quality time with your family. Like, honestly, today's session is about having a candid conversation with our friends on here today. Number 6, discipline is the goal between the bridge between goals and accomplishment. A really key principle. A clear vision isn't enough to get you what you want. It's great to write your BHAG down. It's great to write your goal down. But if you don't have some daily habits that are working towards that, some weekly habits, some monthly habits, and that's why this app that I use is so incredibly powerful. It helps you keep track of that, and other people can see when you update. So you're holding yourself accountable to others. You must constantly be ready to do what's difficult and hard. And again, another favorite quote of mine is that if you do the hard things today, life becomes easier. E.g., you do the workout today, you listen to that audio book while you're doing your workout, you're combining those two things together. And it might be 20 minutes, it might be 30 minutes, but life becomes easier. Actually, Phil, who's on here, I'm going to shout out to you, Phil, because you're an incredible example of someone who's changed your thinking around health, and it's incredible, your transformation. You're welcome to speak up if you want, but you're an absolute great example of how you've taken ownership, completely changed your habits, and you've made incredible progress in the last, I don't know, what is it, Phil, 12 months? Is it 6 months? You're welcome to unmute. You're just such a good example of someone who's done that. And while we're waiting, go, Phil.
Yeah, so since April, I've lost 25 kilos on my journey. So I've been at it for quite a while. And really, the main thing is no excuses.
No excuses.
It's been the main thing that's really driven me. You've got to want it. So it's not just a matter of saying, hey, it'd be really good if, I want my life to be more productive or whatever it is. You've actually got to want it, and then you got to go after it with a passion, with no excuses.
I love it.
And when you do, it takes a while. The first few months are pretty awkward, don't feel natural. But once you get into it, it becomes a habit. It's all downhill from there.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks, Phil. That's awesome. Give him a big hand, folks. I know we haven't got anyone on camera, anyone else on camera, but thanks. And thanks for being on camera. It's awesome to be able to see someone. So if anyone else is free to turn the camera on, please do. I'd love to see who we're chatting to. So that is brilliant. And what I'm going to build on what Phil said is that if you do the hard things, life becomes easier. If you choose the easy way out every day, life gets harder and harder and harder. Your health gets worse, your relationships get worse, all these things get worse, right? So do the hard thing now. So choose your hard, because life's going to get harder if you choose the easy thing, okay? So choose your hard wisely. Really, really important. And what Phil says about excuses, it's one of my favorite topics, is you can either make excuses or you can live a great life. You can't do both. Or you can either make excuses or you can make money. You can't do both. You can either make excuses or you can have great health. You can't do both, right? We call it excuse-itis. It's a terrible disease, and if you've got it, you need to ditch it right away. I had it, and sometimes I still slip into it, and I have to consciously, that's why I use these tools, that's why we've designed this planner over the last 20 years, and it just gets better and better. It's got these success tools in it that help me to keep going and keep inspiring others and keep sharing this with others and trying to make sure we're lifting other people up. I'm going to give you another little tip in here too. If you're a business owner or you're leading a team, make sure your number one goal, and you verbalize this to your team, is that your number one goal every day is to make sure your team is heading towards their most important life goals, whether that's buying a house, buying a car, whatever it is. Your job as a leader is to help them as fast as possible hit their most important life goals, because guess what? They'll do the same for you, right? So, but you've got to verbalize it, and you've got to keep reminding them and keep telling them. Another little leadership tip is you need to be the CRO, the Chief Reminding Officer, every single day of the week, reminding them of what's important, what the mission is, what the vision is, what the core values are for your business, what we're trying to get achieved today. Really, really important. You also need to be the CEO, by the way. So I'm throwing a lot of extra stuff in here, but write these down, because they're really, 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 for me, they've been incredibly helpful. And for the people we coach, they've been helpful. CEO, the Chief Energy Officer. And by the way, everything I sharing with you today is things I've learned, internalized, premierfied, and sharing with others. So it's nothing to do with me. It's about sharing and paying it forward what I've learned from unselfish people. So number 7, take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. It is tragic how many people don't respect that. They treat their bodies like a Cortina instead of a Ferrari. It's a miracle of creation. Why aren't you treating it like that? Stop feeding it with junk. Stop feeding it with soft drinks, packet food, right? It's disgusting. You need to take ownership, like Phil was saying, take extreme ownership and responsibility and take care of it. Your physical health must be a priority, because guess what? If you can't be in top shape and top form and top health, how can you possibly serve others at the highest level? Because people have this excuse, say, I haven't got 30 minutes. I'm busy at the charity. I'm busy doing this. I'm busy helping this person. I'm like, well, you spend 30 minutes a day on your health. You're going to be able to help way more people. You're going to help inspire more people. You're going to be able to serve at a much higher level and get much more done. So if you go to a charity event, you can run around and get stuff done instead of slopping around and getting things done. Big difference. So, and you've got more energy, you've got more time to serve, and you can serve at a much higher level. So don't expect to do or have what you want if you have poor health. I have another favorite quote is that if you don't make time for fitness and good eating and health, you must make time for illness. And that's, again, choose your hard, right? Choose your hard. I know it's hard to eat healthy. I know it's hard to especially if you're in a social setting where, everyone's drinking alcohol, everyone's eating rubbish food. It's difficult, but if you're deliberate and you're determined, you will break through this. Because if you want to be in the 1%, which I'm sure all of you do, and some of you, most of you probably are, who knows? I don't know you all, but you need to take drastic action. Stop making excuses and start changing what you can control. Number 8, motivation is what gets you started, and habit is what keeps you going. Key principle ties in with number 6 as well. Number 9, don't let your learning lead to knowledge. Let it lead to action. Without action, knowledge is pointless. And it's something I often end the webinars with, is that what are you going to do today? Because knowledge without action is worth zero. $1 million idea without $1 million action is worth nothing. So you need to take drastic action, and hopefully you guys are writing some stuff down that's going to help you straight away. So those are the 9 big ideas that I wanted to share. Right, it's all in the planner. And great, what was that question, Matt W? When will the planners be delivered? Over the next week or two, Matt. The first run has come in, and we have the second run coming soon. But this has got, like I say, it's got every tool in there. Actually, Stephen, you could drop a link into the chat. I don't care if you don't buy one, but I'd love it if you did. We're only covering our costs on these because we want to get them out to the world. It's such a powerful tool. So Stephen will chuck the link in there for you guys to have a to click on, and if you want to buy it, you're welcome. And I'm here to support you if you have any questions on the planner at any stage. So connect with me on WhatsApp, and I'm here for you. How much is your time worth is another tool that's in the diary. It helps you work out, or in the planner, helps you work out the true value of your time right down to the second. And then I recommend that you actually put it in the front of your diary. This is what I'm worth. So this is in the diary. You write down what your time is worth. Another way of, so it sort of breaks down in a very simple way. Another thing I often recommend to people is that if let's say you run a sales team, for example, so if you're responsible for a business or a team, like you're let's say you're the CEO and you've got a $10 million business, really that's the value of your time. You can divide that down by the weeks, the hours, the days, and the seconds. Again, another game changer for me was actually writing that down and reviewing it daily. Most days I review that because it just keeps me focused and driven. It's like, man, I'm not acting like this value, so it really gives you a shot in the arm. So what else do we need to cover today? We're 26 minutes in. We've covered a lot of stuff already. One thing I want to really share and make sure because we've got a lot of things in here around prioritizing, planning, and things like that, but I wanted to share with you a couple of other templates. One is there's a daily routine template, which is really important. This is another thing, again, in the front of the planner. And a lot of people don't do this, and people that do, it changes their life. So daily routine, like what does your routine look like on a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? So there's room to use that. There's a template in the planner. If you don't want to buy the planner, again, everything I'm sharing today is for free. There's no expectation of anything back in return. But this is a really key tool to use. And then it changes over time, right? But you can review it every week. Actually, Is that my daily routine? How can I improve on that? But until you write it down, how do you know? It's like in a business saying, oh, we're going to make an improvement to this process, but we don't even have an SOP right now or a standard right now. You can't improve. A standard, which is what this is your standard routine, then it's a basis for improvement. It's the platform, it's the foundation. You can then improve. Until you write this down, you're really not making a committal to yourself. You're not doing justice to your time or your family or your business or whatever. So really, really key template. The other one is the high performance habit template, which is what do you want your daily habits to look like, weekly habits, monthly habits, and then other notes. And this changes over time as well, but by writing it down, and then you can keep tweaking the habits that are in your app as well. But this is a really good way to write it down and sort of, brainstorm it and review that every single week. Is that still important? No, yes, maybe. Is that weekly one still important? Nah, not really. I've tried it. It's not really helping me. It doesn't excite me. You've got to do these things. And these are daily disciplines that are really, really, really important. I wanted to share with you the actual layout too, because I want to help people understand that if you're not recording your actual, and people ask me questions like, well, I run a digital diary, what about all my Outlook appointments and all that? You still do all of that. You can plan your whole year out with all your regular meetings in Outlook. That's easy. We know that. It's fantastic. It's a great tool. And you can book all your meetings with your customers and all of that stuff. But we also put them in our actual plan right across the business. All of our staff have to do this because we found that when we shifted our business to digital and other coaching clients, we just lost track of exactly what the actual was, and no one was learning from their interruptions and what was actually happening. And then you've got the actual. It's really simple, but you start with your action list, ABC 1, 2, 3. There's a full training tool on that, how to plan your day, ABC 1, 2, 3. So your A priorities, B priorities, and C priorities, and then labeling them out 1, 2, 3 as well. And that way you build out this lovely action list for the day. Of course, you're sitting down. Another top tip is part of your 20 minutes, 30 minutes is to plan your full week out. You plan it out about 80% full, and you're leaving room for other things that crop up each day. And each night I do about 10 to 15 minutes just refining the next day. So I've got my basic plan set for the week and the month, but then I'm refining the next day the night before. That's really critical because when you go to bed, you're settled because you've got a plan for the day. When you get out of bed, even if you have a bad night, poor sleep, something goes wrong, you get a bit depressed, all these things that come across, it's human, right? Then you get out of bed and you can follow the process, because most people get out of bed. I had a guy the other day, a business owner, big business, and he said, I've always been doing my planning in the morning, and since your last webinar, I've started doing my planning at night. And he says, absolutely changed my stress levels. And he's got like 130 staff, right? So you can always try something new, and it can change the game for you. So I really want to make sure you guys are taking stuff away that's going to change the game. Sorry, we've got to 12:30, and if you are going to, if you don't mind, Stephen, chuck in the chat as well the link to our Google review, because all I'm asking for today is if you guys enjoyed the webinar and you got some value, please drop us a review. And if you do, I'm going to send you my personal habit success list directly to you. So if you can do that, that would be amazing. I'd really appreciate it, because that helps us to share the message with more people. At the moment, we've got a good database, but we're always trying to grow it and always trying to get people like you, or encourage people like you, to please refer to friends and family, because the more we can do that, the more we can lift the productivity of our nation and the quality of life of our people. So it's got the other things here, like all your calls and voice notes are in here with a simple system. We have a training system on how to use this. We have an 8-minute training video on how to use this properly. Really simple, to the point, no mucking around. Your workout or gym notes for the day, and you can use these for any other types of notes. We have people using this in different ways. Your life goals, your gratefuls for the day, and your learning record and notes. So it's got all the tools you need, a page per day, and it's all there in the planner, plus all the tools. So I think, so I wanted to share that. There's a couple of other things for anyone who wants to stay on. I know we're just going over time now by 1 minute. So if you do need to leave, I absolutely respect that, and I appreciate you joining us. But if you are wanting to stay on a few seconds longer, I can kind of show you the ABC 1, 2, 3 tool, which is really powerful. So this is how to plan your next day before leaving work. Prioritizing with ABC 1, 2, 3. Now, some of you have probably done this before. We've been doing it for years and years and years, and always just getting better and better at it. But if you don't record your actual, you can't get better. And the goal is your most precious resource, which is time. You need to try and learn every day how to get 1% better at managing that most precious resource. And then all these things flow on from that. If you can't get that right, it's really difficult to improve your health, your energy, your productivity, your reduce stress, all these things we've already talked about right through the webinar. Really, really challenging. So another little tip I'm going to so this is key. So step 1, you create a task list. Step 2, reject items that are not important. So this is when you're doing your daily planning and your weekly planning. Classify tasks as A, B, or C, and we've got a matrix on how to do that. It's a separate page. It's so powerful and so simple. And then you go step 4, prioritize tasks in each class according to their logical sequence or urgency, A1, A2, then B1, B2, then C1, C2, etc. Step 5, schedule, blocking out your time. Very simple, guys, very simple. A1, A2, B1, B2. So even if your day gets not completely off the rails, you've got a full plan. You might have something come in and knock you off the rails for an hour, 2 hours, whatever. Something goes pear-shaped, but then you got a plan to fall back on. This is the power of this. You know, a plan to fall back on, because most people, when they get knocked off their plan, they end up spinning their wheels for the rest of the day because they don't have a plan to fall back on. Really, really important. So you schedule it in. Step 6, you execute. Step 7, you review it the next night, you know, and away you go again. It's a awesome loop. It's an upward spiral, and it's absolutely fantastic. So really want to inspire you guys to give that a go. Even if you don't get one of our planners, have a crack at it in your own diary. It's so powerful. And that kind of covers us, really. Like I say, if you can drop us a Google review, we'd really appreciate it. We will send you some bonus material that you weren't expecting, hopefully. And a couple of other things. If you're going to stay on for another minute or two, I'm going to just share a couple of other tips that work really well for me. Write down your success criteria. That's another thing which is important, because what success looks like to you and others is totally different. So write down, what are your criteria for success? It might be to have a happy marriage, happy kids, healthy, whatever. A bunch of things that are what success looks like to you. And that way, when people kind of try to, judge you on what success looks like to them, well, you've got your criteria. You're happy with that. This is what keeps you going. The other thing I want to share with you, which has been a recent learning, for me, is just the understanding that in life, we're always, if you're a high performer or you want to be a high performer, you've got a goal up here. You started down here somewhere and you got to about here right now, and there's still this massive gap, right? And often people can get a bit depressed, and sometimes I spend a bit of my time here in the gap going, I'm not there yet, I'm not there yet, I'm not there yet. I've got to keep striving. What we fail to realize is that we look back at all the gain that we've had here, are really important to reflect on that. So that's why writing down your 3 wins each day and writing down, taking a moment to reflect every now and again of how far have you come in the last week, the last month, the last year. Yes, I've got a long way to go, but let's focus on the gain, because it keeps you more positive, more uplifted, and keeps you cranking. So that's another really important principle to throw. I just wanted to really share with you guys today. Now, this is enough for today. We've gone 5 minutes over time. I'm done.